Resistor. Hello everyone, so I started working on actually doing a port of a game that I developed a few years ago. This month there is a Ludum Dare October Challenge, which is to take a game to the marketplace. Now, this is actually a game that I've already had on a marketplace. The original Resistor was on the Xbox 360, and I wanted to bring this to PC and mobile platforms. So I wasn't going to go back and convert my XNA code to work on the PC because I really don't want to have to go back and look at XNA. The original Resistor only worked with the gamepad, so to bring that to PC, I would actually have to add keyboard and mouse controls. So I decided if I'm going to go through all that effort, I might as well just redevelop this in Unity. So that's what I started working on last night, Resistor Gold. Now I really didn't want to call this Resistor 2 because I'm going to use all the data from the previous game, all the level data and all that, same exact game, just updated graphics. It's sort of like a remake, but I didn't want to call it a remake since the game's only like 2 years old. But anyway, yeah, I got the title screen here. Got the background that's scrolling in the back. I did generate a normal map, which I'll talk about in a little bit, which gives it that nice metallic color. If you turn off the normal map, it will look really flat, and also have the text, title text, that was generated in Blender. I do want to have it where this like flies in. I haven't got that working yet. In the original Resistor, I had each individual letter like scaled down, so it kind of looked like it was zooming in, but it really didn't have much of a 3D effect. So I'm hoping to do something similar to that with this text. But yeah, that's currently what I have. I'll show the actual game, what I've been able to do with it today. Now I just generated a normal map for the background right there, and it's not much right now. This is actually the same background image that I had from the original Resistor, but I just applied a normal map on it, which gives it that nice shiny metallic look in the back. And also this evening I got the grid up and running, so right now you can't do much aside from just clicking on these individual cells, and these will be like the wires in the previous game that you can connect together to make the flow go from the battery down to the different LEDs. So I got a lot of plans for this game. I want to take out the complexity of the ranking system in the previous game. You're graded on time, luminosity, and pieces used. And you got a different letter grade, such as an S, an A, a B, or a C, depending on how well you did. Now, I want to take the letter grades out. You're only going to get 1 star for each of the 3 categories. And after you complete so many levels, you'll have so many stars, and if you have enough stars, you'll be able to go on and complete the following levels. But if you don't have enough stars, you'll have to go back and beat the previous levels again to get all stars on the previous levels to proceed in the game. Just wanted to show really quickly when I go to scene view here. It's just a plane that I have in the background. I'm using the texture offset technique. One thing you got to look out for when you use the texture offset technique, which I can show right here in the level background. I got the scroll method, and if you have a normal map, you have to use set texture offset for both the main texture and also the bump map. So that will scroll both. If you don't do that, then the normal map will just stay stationary and it'll look really strange. But if I go back to the level background, I have, as you can see here, the level BKG01 shader or material applied to this. And you can see here I have just the standard. I pulled this directly from the original Resistor game. This background right here, it will look very familiar if you played the original Resistor. And materials, and also have a normal map. To select a normal map, you just click on the little circle, and I'll talk a little bit about how I generated that, but you just select the normal map. It'll be this bluish looking color right there, and yeah, that's all you need. So now let me go back and click on normal map and select none. So now you can see the background looks very flat. There's no depth at all to it. If I click play, yeah, you can see that there's none of that depthness to the background after I turned off the normal map. So I was really amazed with how much of a difference just applying a simple normal map does for your game. You have some other sliders to make it metallic, more or less metallic, and the smoothness, and also just use this brownish color to overlay or set that color of that material to give it the brownish look. Now again, this is brown because I'm following the different the color scheme of each resistor. So a level 1 resistor, number 1 resistor is brown, then you go to red, to orange, to yellow, to green, to blue, to purple, and then I believe to gray and white after that. So I'm trying to make it a little bit educational, so if kids may be playing this, they'll at least learn the different color values associated to each resistor. Okay, I also wanted to show in GIMP how to create a normal map. So there's my simple texture right there. There's a plugin that you can go out online and find. I think you can just type in GIMP normal map. And the first result will be this GIMP normal map plugin. And you just download it over here. There's 2 zip files depending on whether you're using 32-bit or 64-bit processor. But unfortunately, I tried to use this on my Mac earlier today, and there's no Mac build. So if you want to use it on your Mac or Linux or whatever, you got to build, unfortunately, from source. But yeah, you just download it here, and they do have instructions. You'll just extract those files, and it will tell you where to actually put those files in your GIMP install. And then after you do that, you should be able to click on Filters at the top, and under Map, you'll have this normal map option right here. So you click on that, and this will show you your texture. So like I said earlier, it'll be this blue, light bluish texture, and it may be a little bit reddish or greenish. That determines which way the normals are pointing and the way that the light will interact with your texture or material. But yeah, you have a lot of different options. This 4 sample, that's the default. It really doesn't do much for your texture. I like the Sobel, I don't know how to pronounce that, Sobel 3x3. It does just enough to make it look nice. There's a Sobel 5x5, and it's a little bit more drastic, and I don't think it looks as good. I can actually export that to show what it looks like right there. And actually I can export over my existing normal map and see if I can go back to my game. And yeah, you can tell right here it's a lot more drastic in the amount of depth in the texture when that normal map is applied. So now it looks almost like chocolate or something in the background. So yeah, I think that 5x5 is a little bit too much. So I'll go back and go to my filters, map, normal map. There's one here called pre-wit. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between the algorithms, but you do the pre-wit 3x3. Can export that over my existing normal map. Go back over here. So yeah, this is a little bit smoother, just a different algorithm for determining the normal maps, but at least you don't get the flatness in the background by not having any normal map at all applied. And I believe these are all based on the different grayscale values of the current image, and it just uses that. You can go in there and, like, I guess, draw your own normal map if you wish to choose to do that, but trying to do your own normal map without a plugin or generator, I think that would be fairly difficult. Then you have these 3x3, 5x5, 7x7, 9x9. Those really don't do much. Then you have a lot of different options, which I haven't. I guess if you want to generate your normal map, maybe based on only a certain hue, such as the red, green, or blue, then you can generate it just using one of those values. Not exactly sure what all these other ones. If you wanted inverted, then you can choose that. But anyway, yeah, that's a nice little plugin there that will generate normal maps for you and make your games look a lot better. Resistor. Yeah, so I just wanted to show off the original Resistor game. As you can see there, it came out in 2012, and this is the one that are released on the Xbox 360. So for those of you who have been following me throughout the years, this may seem familiar because I did like a 6-week development log on this, where I did like a development video every week. But yeah, you got the different options, level select. This one I haven't played much of yet. Go ahead and start at level 3 too. So basically you have the power source there, then you just connect down to the different LEDs. So as you can see here, it's a very simplistic looking game. It did okay on the Xbox 360 for my first game. But yeah, it wasn't a bad little puzzle game. It just looked kind of plain, and the objective is just to connect all these up to the LEDs on here. And you got your little buttons up at the top so you can change which resistor you want to select. So it really seems like this would work on a mobile platform. It's just I haven't ever had the time to go in and actually do the coding to convert it to mobile. Like I said, I got to use the Xbox gamepad in order to, oops, messed up there, in order to move the pieces and set the pieces. So, as I mentioned earlier, you get ranked on the 3 different categories: how many pieces you used. Luminosity means if you use the right resistors to the right values. Now, if you go over the value listed on the LED, then it will explode and you'll automatically lose. So in the new version, the Resistor Gold, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't want to call it Resistor 2 and didn't want to call it Resistor Remake, so I just call it Resistor Gold, like it's a premium version. In Resistor Gold, I want to use a lot of particle effects when the LEDs explode and make it just a lot nicer looking. Now, I'm going to have to work a little bit on the flow, figuring out how to get the flow to work, because whenever the flow goes down one of these wires, I'm just using clipping of a sprite, of an overlaid sprite, in order to give it that look like it's actually filling up. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that in 3D, but it's a problem I'm going to have to solve in the next few days or weeks as I develop this. Hopefully I'll have it done by the end of October for the Ludum Dare October Challenge. But anyway, that's what I've been working on. I appreciate everyone watching, and hopefully I'll have Resistor Gold out and available soon. Thanks for watching.